My sister was like, oh, should I just let it? No. First time probably in her whole life she listened to me. She rented out her townhouse, and they bought a bigger place because she couldn't sell her house. Her 2-bedroom townhouse was about $85,000 underwater. I was like, but they had 3 kids in a 2-bedroom. I mean, they could have made it work. We all know we can make things work that we don't like, but they could. So they literally bought on the same street. Her 2-bedroom was on this, and her 3-bedroom they were literally on the same street, and she rented it out. And that was a rental for them for about 6 years. When they sold it, they made $100,000.
Yep.
So I was like, don't panic. Don't listen to these people. Listen to me, sister. I was like, just do it this way. And they made money because they, hear no evil, see no evil. Like, don't listen to the naysayers. Let's have a plan. Let's do this right. And they actually made money. I was like, hallelujah. Because it's, they're not making more land. We're actually having a housing shortage. We have more people that want to buy than there's supply. So prices go up.
Yep.
So if we had another dip, just ride the dip out. Just stay there.
And I think it's a ride that will probably go for another 5 to 10 to 15 years. What do you think?
I think it has to, because we are way underwater in between that. New home construction is low. And then you have houses that literally, they're obsolete. They're so worn out, they really need to be taken down. So that's out of inventory until they get rebuilt. And there's not enough resale. So there's the numbers I looked at a couple of weeks ago. There's like in our 1.7 million, that's what we need. And there's only like 1.4 million, coming available, minus 100,000 that are obsolete now. So there's a big gap.
And then what will come to the market is divorce, probate, all your baby boomers downsizing and stuff like that. And so a lot of times, even with that stuff, it's going to be like as is type of situations in most cases. So
yeah,
that's still going to
not enough coming on the market. And now we're going to have a chunk of people that maybe normally would be selling, but they don't want to give up their 2-3% interest rate to go into whatever 6.5. So they won't sell. They won't sell because they want to give up that payment to maybe get what they want at a high payment. But they'll add on. They'll add on to their house. They'll renovate their house. So maybe when they retire or whatever, they'll sell.
Yeah, but one of the big things with this talk this evening is and it's more about mindset than it is real estate, like fear. Like, we have to understand how to properly attack and deal with fear. And it doesn't start with panicking and emotionally moving. It starts with figuring out exactly what's going on, what makes sense, and then move. Because a lot of the
and you hit the nail on the head. Honestly, so much of our society is based on emotion and how you feel, and you're feeling in the moment. And there's panic and anxiety and depression and all of this stuff, and that, but a lot of that is definitely a mental state. And you do have to make these kind of decisions off of what's really happening, what's really going on, what's really possible, and take the emotion to the side and make real decisions based on facts, on numbers, you know, on that, and not be emotional about it, and be calm, you know, do some analytics, you know, see the numbers on paper, take some sound advice, even if it's going to be tough. A lot of life is really, really tough. And we do have to like kind of grind some things out. I mean, we stayed in our home longer because we bought our last home in 2014. And there was kind of a little mini boom going on coming out of, you know, the 2008. It was pretty robust that spring and summer. And we bought, and then for about 3 years, there was a little dip in prices, and then it was like flatline, you know. So because we originally bought that house thinking 3 to 5 years, we actually sold in about 7.5 years, and we made a boatload. But riding it out and just enjoying it. We renovated the house from top to bottom. It was beautiful. And we got top dollar in the neighborhood for our landscaping, the curb appeal, everything we did to it. It was beautiful. And we enjoyed it. We enjoyed the heck out of it because we were like, okay, we're going to be here for a little bit longer than we expected. And I just did one project after the next project. I was like, and just made it, you know, beautiful. And then we were able to sell and buy a little bit more of what we wanted and go from there. But just, you know, we have to be happy where we are, work with what we have, and then work towards what we want and our bigger goals. And just be methodical, consistent, and persistent.
And that's the key, right? Because one of the things that you just mentioned is being happy with what you have. So that also means to me that even if you're in this market and you go out there, you see the multiple offer situations, you just have to go back and reevaluate exactly how you're looking to purchase. Because if you're seeing that it's 40, 50,000 over, and you already feel in your heart you don't want to pay that type of money, but you see another house that's right down the street, it need a little love. Everybody needs a little love. So maybe that's the house that you need to give a little love to. But guess what?
Absolutely.
If you do that, then you might walk into the boatload of equity that Laura is talking about. You could possibly have it today instead of 5 years from now.
Yeah,
right,
I can tell you that house was one of the ugly ducklings of the neighborhood. I mean, God love the people. They were the original owners, and it needed love. In fact, my family couldn't believe I was buying that house because they were like, this doesn't look like you. I was like, you can't see what I can see. I said, this house has great bones, and I can see what it's going to be. I had the vision. I knew what I could do, and I had fun doing it, you know. And that's like, and at the time, you know, we had been divorced. We were digging out of a financial hole, and that's what we could afford. So I bought what I could afford, and I made it. That ugly little duckling turned into a swan. And I had fun doing it. And then people, they were like, is this the same house? I was like, yeah, it's the same house. They were like, you did have vision. People literally, a couple drove past our house and called, and we were like, we can't find your house. I was like, it's exactly where it was sitting last time. But I put a front portico on it, and it had a carport, and it became a beautiful garage, and, you know, did the windows and put on new roof, and, you know, the portico that came out magnificent. It had a red tin roof on the portico, and we put on new shutters, and inside I took down walls, and it was amazing. So you have fun. You use your creativity, and you buy what you can afford and make it into what you want, and then it will be this great thing. And then when you building towards your next goals, you're going to get there because you're going to make the money, and then you're going to move up. You keep working toward your goals while you're being happy where you are.
So to end this out, you agree, Laura, that we're not looking at a crash in housing market, correct?
No crash, no bubble, no crash.
And you feel like, although we know there could inventory shortage out there, now is the time to think about buying a home.
The numbers, anybody that wants to call me, I will show you the numbers of why it makes sense to be a homeowner. If you ever want to retire, being a homeowner is a big ticket item that is going to bring a lot of money to your retirement plan eventually. And don't retire anytime soon. You know, like retire when you're 100, whatever. A couple days before God takes you. Otherwise, keep working, keep being productive, keep being out there with people. Bring your wisdom to the world.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So, yeah,
ma'am.
no crash, no bubble, no fear. Give up fear. Give up worry. Give up fear. Nothing. You know, the Bible tells us not to worry. God's got this. He's watching over you. No matter where you are, he knows where you are. He's taking care of you. So, you know, just bring happiness, bring love, give people hugs, give people a smile. I was shopping for a gift today, and the guy at the sales guy in Nordstrom's, we were talking, and then we were talking about business, and he was talking about tax deductions. I was like, you need to make an LLC so that you can take some tax deductions. And he started telling me, he goes, oh my God. And he, I never thought of that. And I mean, we just had this great conversation, and we were two strangers. And, you know, here I shared an idea with him, and he was telling me about some of the stuff he does, you know, when he's not an employee at Nordstrom's. I was like, you already have a business. You need to use that, take some tax deductions. You already have another stream of income. And he's like, I'm so glad I talked to you. See, have conversations, make connections, and just your life gets so much better. And buy a house and have people over and have barbecues and cookouts and family fun.
And get
You know,
one that
let's make the world
can,
a better place.
get one you might can put a pool in if it's not one already there.
Pools are like 2 years out. You call a pool company these days, and they're like, okay, I can get your pool in 2025. They have little rubber pools now in the meantime. But yeah, pools, backyard, barbecue pits, outdoor kitchens, or, you know, have fun.
Yep.
Well, Lois, we're making the world a better place.
Yes, ma'am. Well, Lois, it's always a pleasure to get you on, because you come with a wealth of knowledge, and I know folks, when they see our videos with you on it, they know they're getting a special touch. But we appreciate you for jumping on. Tell them how to reach you.
Right there on the screen, 301-674-7716. Also, you can find me on YouTube just by my name, Laura Fournier. Lots of good videos there. I'm on Facebook, and instant message me. So get in touch. Let me help you out. Even if you need some help, some budgeting, anything, no matter where you are, we can get you and get you into a home. Might take a little bit of work, might take a lot of work, but we can get you there.
Well, we appreciate you, Laura. And folks, this is another Hump Day Real Estate with Kendall. Hey, and first, this is the first of the month. I hope you guys are prepared to release the fear and go out there and do what you need to do to make this month and the rest of the year a wonderful one. Signing off is Marcellus Kendall. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.